Hello and welcome everyone in another episode of Researchers Celebrity. Today we have Dr. Suresh Bharti with us as our guest, and a brief introduction about Dr. Suresh. He has done his bachelor's in life sciences from APS University Reva, and for masters he pursued biochemistry and attended same university APS University Reva. Then for PhD, he worked at National Institute of Malaria Research and received his degree from Kumaon University, Uttarakhand, India. Currently, he is assistant professor of zoology in SGS Government PG College in Sidhi, Madhya Pradesh. With this brief introduction, I would like to say thank you so much, Dr. Ram Suresh, for taking time out of your busy schedule for this conversation, and we welcome you at the platform.
Do it. Thank you.
So we
So,
always start our conversation that how and when you decided that you want to become a researcher.
thank you for giving this opportunity to share my struggles and experiences, uh, which I received or learned from during my PhD. I would like to introduce myself. As I said, I'm Dr. R.S. Bharti. I belong to one of the districts of MP, that is CD. Now I'm currently working as assistant professor, geology. Uh, well, uh, it's a very long story, but I'd like to cut it short. When I took admission in post graduation, I met a sir who had qualified CSIR net. Then he was receiving lots of recognition, lots of respect from uh, colleague teachers. So then I came to know there is an exam that is called NET and JRF. Then slowly, I was interested in that, and I just tried to get more information about that. Then all of a sudden, I came to know there is a net, that is known as a junior research fellowship, and as I belong to very middle class family, so I was the first to pursue post graduation, and there was a big challenge for me along with studies. I have to earn fellowship or some kind of money. So then I thought it is the best uh, thing which I can do. Apart from that, I can continue my study without break. So I started gathering informations and books, all these things, and I started appearing in exam, CSIR exam. Then it was very tough for me, as I belong to a very uh, Hindi dominant area where English is a very tough language for us. So it was very difficult to overcome language barrier. So apart from my college study, I started learning English, and then I started reading English books, standard books like Leininger, Carr, Jean, Nine, all these things. And then I slowly, I got into that atmosphere where I gave my 1.5 year. Finally, I was able to qualify these exams. After that, I was looking for a PhD guide or institution to pursue my doctorate degree. All of sudden, you can say by chance, I met Dr. Nilima Mishra, where I met so many of my friends, those who were pursuing their doctorate degree and postdoctorate degree. So after getting admitted there, again there was a big challenge for me. In spite of these qualifications, whether it is JARA, whether it is NET, still there was a big problem for me. That was the language. I knew how to read books. I knew how to speak a little bit. But when it comes to writing, it becomes really very difficult. So then I came to know that still there is a problem which I need to sort out. So if you want to do something a bit more, or in if you want to make career in that field, then you must know how to write and how to read journals, how to read newspaper, read, how to interpret it, results. So it was quite difficult for me. So slowly I did all those things. And one more thing was very challenging for me, that was cultural differences. In my area, if you are saying someone, then it becomes very hard to digest. But there it was very common. Like in, most of the people, most of my colleagues were Haryana. Their language is very challenging and tough. If someone is very sensitive, then he or she cannot survive. So I started adapting myself, and I adapted really very well. Uh, Few of friends become very close to me, and still we are in a touch with, and we are sharing information. I think it was very difficult part. So it was hands-on practice laboratory part. So as I
Mhm.
studied Hindi medium, so there was no this kind of facilities like laboratory facilities. I heard the names like PCR, electrophoresis, on just like a theoretical part. But when I started working on actual on PCR and doing so many things, so slowly I learned very fast, and things become easier as the time went ahead. And finally, I was able to earn my doctorate degree. So I would like to, I have a few suggestions. That is, if you want to make your career in research field, you have to qualify some national exams, which gives you financial independence. And apart from financial independence, you need to know how to write and how to read. If you know how to express, if you know how to read and write, then you will be able to how to communicate, how to express your ideas very easily. So it's like it's integral part of your research part. So I think these are few things which you need to inculcate while making career
Absolutely.
in that field.
I think we are off to a great start, acknowledging some of the challenges, and then we'll obviously deep dive into some of them also. So, for all the audience, Dr. Ramesh, as Dr. Ram just mentioned about some of the challenges, like either it is cultural or it is language barrier. But for most of us, what we have seen all around the world, that the place, the city we are born is not the place where we do our PhDs. So they are either in different part of the same state or sometimes different state. And we had researcher celebrities who are doing or have done this even in different countries. So these challenges stays the same irrespective wherever you are moving, either within the states or in countries. So let's talk about the decision making. When you said that you were motivated by your peer connect, which you mentioned, like the recognition, one of those things that researchers do not get enough of recognition. When you saw somebody congratulating that just because they have cleared an exam, so that was your first thought that, okay, just because this person is getting acknowledged, I think I should do something. And then when you started exploring the possibilities, that's when you realize that there are better opportunities than that, like having your own fellowship also trains you as a young PI also, because now you have had some experience of research. And then before getting any research experience, you mentioned that you in your masters and your bachelors you did not got exposure for the laboratory hands-on practices. but when you ended up in National Institute of Malaria Research, what were the first thoughts why you chose that lab or that institute to be the place for your PhD research?
Well, thank you, sir. It is very interesting question. See, one of my senior was working on HPLC. There were so many equipments. When I saw these equipments, it was really very interesting. Sometimes, if someone is working on micro equipments or big equipments, so I had studied so many things. Theoretical part, I knew what is HPLC. I knew the only concepts, I knew the principles, but when it comes to practical aspect, it really becomes very difficult. If you see the PCR, that is very small equipment, that is a PCR. It's very simple. On theoretical part, when it comes to actual practical part, sometimes very minute things becomes very big deal. So yes, it was really interesting, but sometimes it becomes very frustrating when results are not coming as per your expectation. But yes, I think still laboratory part is live inside me. That was really very useful and very important part of my journey.
Mhm.
Still, I remember those things.
You mentioned about theory and practical. Let's take a minute to talk about this because that's where most of the challenges in any researcher's life comes. Like, as you mentioned, in theory everything is working. If you're performing any experiment on paper, 99% it is actually working,
Yes,
or
yes.
most of the times 100%. It gives you what you want. But when you start doing experiments, that's when it fails miserably most of the time, a lot of many times. So what was your idea of getting troubleshooting, and based on your challenges which you experienced during your PhD, now what you can guide to our audience that how they can navigate through those tough times?
Yes, another very good question, sir. If everything is going fine, if your results are coming as per expectations, for PhD students, for maximize or upgradation of the your methodology part, optimization that is known as the optimization. It takes longer duration. Once the method is optimized, as per your laboratory setup, as per your requirement, as per your sample, then very less time is required to run the actual samples. But in that condition, if your result is not up to mark or still there is some improvement is required, then you have to have patience and you have to reset the system again. Sometimes a very little things become very tough thing, and we are ignoring, just we are doing the same thing again and again a bit, just we are not considering the small things. So we have to consider each and every step in molecular biology, in microbiology. If there is a little bit contamination, that will change all the result. So you have to have patience and you have to reset all the system. You have to take a pause and let's restart again. So definitely that will done. Once it has worked again, then definitely it worked.
Absolutely. This taking a pause is very important, you mentioned. So, we do talk about the real burnouts of researchers during our these conversations, that how one has to be very vigilant about it when they feel that this is the time to take a break. Because, as you said, like taking those pauses are so important that you cannot function for a long time if you are not taking the due break, which obviously everyone needs. So, what was your method to reset whenever you had these, like, struggling days or weeks sometimes?
Okay, okay. Yes, sir. Yes, in my laboratory, just we started a new experiment that was I think you must have heard KELS 13. everything hypothetically it was very clear. Everything was ready. When it comes to actual practical part, nothing was working out. So just we started this slowly we changed everything. We cannot change everything at a time. We
Yeah.
need to change one thing at a time. Rest of the thing should be constant. We have to keep it constant, and we have to make so many combinations. If it is working this way, fine. Otherwise we have to take another combination. So it took, I think, 5 to 6 months. Finally we troubleshoot that issue. So we have to consider one problem at a time. We cannot change whole things at the same time. So if you are doing like this, definitely you will be able to get results as you desire.
Absolutely. And I think this is part of like either people can have these problems when they are doing troubleshooting, or as you mentioned, that optimization is the process which takes the most of the time. And once
Yes.
everything, the method is optimized, everything
Yes.
runs very smooth.
Yes. So,
So now,
in research, troubleshooting is a very, very important. You must have to know it. You
Mhm.
cannot ignore it.
Yeah,
You cannot
absolutely.
take shortcut. You cannot avoid it. You have to tackle it.
Absolutely.
If you know how to troubleshoot, then you are an actual research
Thank
scholar.
Yes, absolutely. And I think there is no PhD student in the world who have never done any kind of troubleshooting, because that is the main training.
If you are actual scholar, then you must know. You cannot.
Absolutely. So now when like during your PhD, you mentioned like in India and even in most of the other parts of the world, living a PhD scholar life when you have family responsibilities can be really challenging. You have
Of course.
your own issues of your research and then family, everything bundles up. So based on like your experience, what you can suggest that how one can maintain a good work life balance, because that is also one thing which is coming up more and more when it comes to researchers.
Thank you, sir. Really, it's a very, very interesting question. Most of the time, I used to explain my students that I'm a professor by profession, and I'm teaching so many students every day. So time and tide wait funnel. You
Mhm.
have to your life, and you along with your life, you have to work on it. So if you are mixing both personal life and research life, then it will become hell. You have to prioritize things. First of all, if your health is good, if you are really, if you are healthy, then you can perform healthy research. Else, you will lose research and health both. So, my suggestion: firstly, you have to take set the priorities. On top of everything, there should be health and other things. Along with, you have to prioritize your research work. If everything is fine, you have to make the balance between research and family life. So I think if you are trying to balance, sometimes situations become very difficult. But if you try, then definitely you will get the solution. There is no difficult issue which cannot be solved. I
Absolutely.
did
I
the
think.
same. I did the same thing.
Mhm.
Nothing came in my way.
Nice.
Whatever came, I just short short it out.
Nice. And I think that's the attitude it should be for all of us, that some of these things are very menial, and at that time like it looks so huge just because we do not have those clear boundaries drawn between work and life, and that is where it brings more. And another point, maintaining that balance is also important, as you mentioned. Like, you have to make your priorities clear. At one point of time it can be your work, at some other point of time it can be your life, your family, your friend, because these are the pillars who actually helps you to navigate or to sail through those tough times when your experiments are not working, when you are not receiving funds, or grants are getting rejected, manuscripts are getting rejected. Because
That
one
is a
point,
part of it. I
yeah,
think we should
exactly.
bother about it.
I think that's
Let
how
it,
everyone should look towards it, keeping this head high and always, looking optimistically. Positive thinking is what also is another
yes,
important ingredient for any researcher. So, when you were about to finish your PhD,
yes.
what were the thoughts which were going in your head? Because in India now we have seen that people are just
See,
moving out of India for postdocs, or looking for other opportunities.
that is not a postdoc is not a permanent solution. At least you need a permanent post, a permanent something like where you
Mm-hmm.
can work for a longer period of time. I don't know. I can't believe that if you are going to get a government job, then you will be only permanent. Yeah, I didn't mean
Mm-hmm.
that. Actually, what I
Mm-hmm.
mean is you need a space where you can work for a longer period of time. Postdoctorate is not a that kind of longer duration.
Nice.
So if you are going out of country, then you are exploring your ideas, exploring yourself. You are getting so many knowledge. So I think it up to some extent it is fine, but ultimately you need as your age is growing, you are becoming older and older.
Mm-hmm.
After some point of your age, you need a stable job.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you want to stay with your families. You are going alone, but your family is here. You are not
Yes.
here, you are not there. You are in between.
Mm-hmm. That
So
is so true.
very challenging. So I
Yeah.
think you need this kind of job. But in my case, since my childhood, when I took admission in my colleges, that was in my mind. That was very clear. I want to become a professor. That's it. Their
Mm-hmm.
luxurious lives, that they are taking classes, nothing else, without pressure. They are just coming and just going.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was in my mind. And I need peacefully life,
Mm-hmm.
actual peaceful life. No
Mm-hmm.
hustle, no rush, no hustle bustle. I don't like it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing was very clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to become a professor. That's it.
So
And I
academia
think,
was always your goal.
yes, it was my dream job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
So, for the people who actually have this clarity in their head since their childhood, as you mentioned, what you can suggest that how they should approach when they have this clarity that they want to be in academia? What are the major milestones they should cover?
see, in any field, you have a very clear goal. Whether if you want to administrative job, whether you want teaching job, teaching job is very challenging job. Nowadays we cannot say it's very easy. But yes, you have to have a very clear goal. And once you decide or once you have admired that job, then you have to work on it. What are the path? What are the key points? What are the things which will lead to success? So nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. But you have to have clear cut goal.
Mhm. So during when was the time when you started thinking of giving MPPSC, like clearing those and eligibility and national level exams? That okay, now because I know that I want to become, like pursue my dream job hunt and want to become a professor at some point of time.
First time advertisement came in 2014 and got cancelled. Again, it came in 2016. Again, got cancelled. And since then, I was just looking for that. And ultimately, it came in 2017. That day, I decided this is the job for me, and
Mm-hmm.
must, I have to take one post.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided I left everything. I put my PhD side, and I was just started preparation for this post. And
Mm-hmm.
2019, my exam was held, I think 25th of June, and the rest is history.
Mm-hmm. So when still you completed your PhD now, in a position where you
I,
can
I, I
train.
got awarded PhD in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
21st. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
after 2.5 years of my job.
Uh-huh.
Why do I need PhD if I am getting positions like assistant professor on the basis of UGC net or CSIR net?
Mm-hmm.
That is not a compulsory qualification. I
Mm-hmm.
was fulfilling my basic educational qualification, so I didn't
Mm-hmm.
pay much attention about PhD.
So the
This is
researcher in you now, when you are doing full time, teaching full time, and based on the infrastructure of the college, you might have some research component into it. When you are training the next generation of researchers, what are the things which you tell them as a mentor?
Well, whenever most of the times in each and every class, I used to scold them. I used to advise them, please, you are living in a 21st century. You have to be very careful about your career. You have to be very selective about your career. You know, NEP is implemented across the India, and now everybody is just confused. There are so many amendments going on each and every day. Nobody knows what is the NEP, exact NEP. So now you cannot get enough specimens, animal specimens for practical aspects. So I have to tell them you have to go for virtual laboratory. You have to do these kind of things. For virtual laboratory, you must have to know the basics of computers. So I advise them to please learn computer. Computer is not going to leave you.
Mm-hmm.
So this kind of things I always used to uh, tell them.
Mm-hmm. So
Virtual laboratory,
another
virtual
thing.
laboratory is very trending nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. So another thing which I can ask you is about when you are mentoring now the students, what were the things which you learned from your mentors, which you were like, okay, I should take this and pass it on for the next generation, and there must be some things which you were like, okay, I do not want to pursue these.
Dedication, desire, and devotion.
Okay, okay,
You must have to have passionate about it. If you
that
are
is the.
passionate,
Mhm.
if you are passionate, then do. Else leave. Don't do
That
this.
is something what we also talk in our these conversations, that as you mentioned, PhD is not the, in like, if it is not the eligibility for some of those things, just don't do, because you have to do it. If you are passionate about it, you have
Yes,
that
yes.
desire, then only pursue that.
I'm a research guy.
Mm-hmm.
Still, I didn't take any student.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of students came to me, approached me for mentorship, but
Mm-hmm.
I denied it.
Mm-hmm.
What we did after PhD,
Mm-hmm.
they had no clear-cut goal. Just they were looking for degree,
Mm-hmm.
right? Why then? Please don't do this. Don't waste your precious time. Why are
Mm-hmm.
giving 5 years and are spending so much money? You are not having any kind of scholarship. So firstly, just go and clear a scholarship. Then come to me. I'll be your mentor,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll teach you each and every whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. I think this is also one good selection criteria, to have them have some kind of basic understanding that what PhD is, what are their challenges, and if they do not have the clear plan that what they are going to do with that degree, can be challenging at some time. We had people who joined PhD with not a clear cut goal, but then during their PhDs, that's when they were able to discover the researcher in them, and they are doing well. That is also one of those things. But I like, we as an Empowering Science Foundation, we always said that breaking the barrier is one of those things that people should do and come up front, and doing PhD is one of them. People think that you cannot be in research if you have not done PhD, which is not absolutely correct. And vice versa is also true. Just because you have a PhD degree, that doesn't mean that you are a great researcher too.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yes, yes. It is very important question again. Sir, nowadays in India, actually, it's a trending. After graduation, what should I do? I'm not studying anymore. What will answer if someone who is going to ask, what are you doing? Nothing. So to escape from not doing anything, just they are running for PhD. Only I'm just doing PhD. What is the meaning of PhD? They don't know anything. So just they are trying to get the degree, but they are not trying to earn the degree.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Earning and getting both are a very different word. Both
true.
carries the same meaning, but in actual sense, it differs a lot.
Mm-hmm,
Getting degree, you are getting degree just by book or by proof.
mm-hmm,
But you are earning degrees. That means you are deserving. You are working hard towards that goal. You are if you are going to get that degree. So people are not
absolutely.
just getting degrees, not earning degrees. Most of the researchers at university level, I'm not talking about national institute, I'm not talking about central universities, I'm not talking about each and every guide, but most of the private universities are just selling the degrees.
Mm-hmm,
They are looking for money. They are charging 3 to 4 lakhs. That's it. Student is paying 3 to 4 lakhs, and again they are paying 3 to 4 lakhs for their other things. So,
mm-hmm.
but just a doctor before their name, nothing else.
No, that is, I think, is a real challenge also, which the scientific community all around the world is facing. That mass producing these PhDs, the some of the researchers, as you mentioned, if you have that or you even discovered during the journey, they are doing really well. But some of them are still so clueless, even after spending so many years and crucial time for their life and resources, and still after the PhD they are not clear that what is the
They will
next
be in a
move.
crossroad after
Mm-hmm.
completing. They will look for a job. I used to explain them. At the age of when you are pursuing your master degree, you will be, I think, 23 to 24 years.
Mm-hmm.
And after taking admission in PhD, you will be in around 30.
Mm-hmm.
Then you will be able to ask for a job. And
Mm-hmm.
if you don't get it, then you become frustrated. And what will happen, I don't know. So please, if you are going to get admission in PhD, think twice, thrice, take lots of guidance, take lots of suggestions, consultations. Should I go for PhD or not?
Mm-hmm.
If you are giving 3 to 5 years for any competitive exam, definitely you will get a permanent job. But
Mm-hmm.
after completing your PhD, again you are in crossroads.
Mm-hmm. That is so true.
So
Yeah.
if you have patience, then you go. Else
Mm.
don't think about it.
And this is something, but in the management terms they say that make the road plan, that where do you want to go, what all it takes, and then check, do I have all of that? Then you do your
Yes,
SWOT
clear
analysis,
goal. Yes,
and then,
clear goal.
yeah, absolutely. And then you decide that, okay, now I'm ready for this. We should do that. Even if you have 80% of that, whatever it takes, I think it's good enough bet to play, because there are so many things which you discover about yourself as well as for the research during PhD. And that's why researchers like Dr. T. Adak, they says that PhD is a training, it's not a degree. So it trains
Yes,
you for lifetime. It does not only change your name by putting doctor in front of it, but it changes and transforms you as a person, as a researcher.
I agree. I agree. There is
So
idioms. Yes.
So now,
Yes.
now we are almost at the edge of our conversation. I would like to ask one thing that, based on your experience, and now what like the next generation of researchers which are coming, what you can suggest them that how they can prepare them well.
Well, sir, everywhere there is a language barrier. If you know
Mhm.
language, if you have command on language, you will be ruler. You can rule everywhere.
Mhm.
Speaking is different. Reading is different. And when it comes to writing, everybody get scared of it. So
Yes.
please, my suggestion is whether it is Hindi, whether it is English, whether it is Urdu, you have to have command on it.
Mhm.
Language is a way to express your ideas. If you want to sell your ideas, then you have to know what is the language. So
Mhm.
language is everywhere. Without language, you cannot survive.
True.
So I would suggest them, please work on in language. If you have command on it, then you will be succeeded.
Absolutely. And I think this is a moment when I would say to all our young enthusiastic researchers that the point Dr. Ram Suresh actually mentioned here is, like, we can talk in English, we can read books as he mentioned, but when it comes to communicating your research as manuscripts to different tier journals, it is altogether a new ball game. And the earlier you can develop those skills, the better are the chances that you will flourish as a researcher. And then if you are
I made
planning.
so many friends, those can speak really well. If you listen them, you will say, wow.
Mhm.
When it comes writing, they are, I can't say anything right now.
So
Actually,
this.
I'm not criticizing them. Actually, I'm not criticizing, but they are not used to it.
Yes, it is also all,
So when
as
you
you
put
said,
your
it
thought
is.
on paper, then it becomes very systematic. You have to take care of each and everything because you are
Mhm.
delivering your thought to a reader receiving, and then if your grammatical mistake, if there is a grammatical mistake, if there is a word of choice is not good, then that will not become that much effective.
Absolutely. And I think that is fair enough, as you mentioned and told everyone that talking is speaking is different. But when it comes to writing the research articles, and this is where now more and more, alternate careers are coming, where people are moving after their PhD to research communications, where they have this scientific training. So now they can break these uh, very complex ideas or research projects into simple ones so that everyone can understand them. And that is research communications in scientific field, which is also coming up more and more in these days, which was not even a field 20-30 years ago. So that's how we are changing a lot. With this, we'll say that Dr. Ramsuresh, thank you so much for taking time out for this conversation and igniting the next generation of researchers. We at Empowering Science Foundation, now STEM for Society, we believe in one thing, that everyone can do anything if whatever they are doing makes them happy. And this is all the professional and personal advice which I always say to everyone, that do whatever makes you happy. If research happen to be that, we are here to support you, to provide you the best guidance and support we can give you. And that is only possible because of our celebrities like you, who volunteer for these conversations, and also then to mentor mentee program which we have. Thank you so much, Dr. Ram Suresh.
Thank you so much, man.
So, for
My
all the
pleasure.
audience, I'll say stay tuned for another episode of Researcher Celebrity. The Now from January 2026, the program, mentor mentee program, is open. You can enroll and then select three different mentors of your choice and your availability, so that then we can match, making whosoever is available during those times. You can have your personalized mentor to help you, to guide you, to navigate you through all the challenges and accomplish your professional goals in science as a researcher. That's all we have to say. And stay tuned for another episode of Researcher Celebrity. Saying thank you once again, Dr. Ram Suresh Bharti.
A pleasure. Thank you very much.